Thank you guys for clicking on the video, and today, fellas, we are back with our GM mode commentary, and I'm going to address a few things I read in the blogosphere. I saw some great things, some great comments about the trade deadline coming up for your Buffalo Sabres, and here's what I saw. Victor Hedman was a name I saw pop up, and Victor Hedman would be great. The only issue is he requires a little bit more than I'm willing to give up to get him. I would be willing to give up Ehrhoff and even Edmonton's first round pick that we have, but that's still not enough, and that's all I'm willing to give up. I saw another name that popped up. His name is the Beast, the man in D-Town himself, Nyquist. And the problem with Nyquist is he's a left wing, and I don't want to switch him on opposite wings. And we have Taylor Hall. Where is he? Nyquist, and he's 24. So he's a little bit, at the age of 24, I would say he's a tad bit too old, and I think we found a guy for the second line who comes in right now, and that's Gallagher. I think he's a great fit for right now. He can play on the second line and then mature, and if he doesn't mature, he's still a great second line for the future. And the best part is, if we give up Stafford, we can keep Stewart, which he has another 2 years. So does Stafford, but again, why would I keep $4 million on the books for Stafford when he's not going to be a part of this future? He's for a win now type of team, and I think we save money. We can re-sign Gallagher to like a cheap 3-year, 4-year, or 3-year or 4-year deal for $3 million and save money yearly over Stafford. So that's where we are, and I'm going to try this trade because I think it'll work straight up. Let's see if we can get a little bit more out of Montreal, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but I forgot to catch you guys up. We traded for Taylor Hall in the last EP, and we're doing pretty well right now. We're actually, I think, the first place team in the Eastern Conference, which is crazy. I didn't think that would happen, but we are, and the point of this trade is I don't want to sacrifice our building our future for right now, because if I go all in and try and give up a lot of draft picks or give up a lot of stuff to get Victor Hedman and others, our future is no longer intact as much as I would like it. So we're going to try and see if we can squeeze. You know what? Let's try and go ballsy and see if we can squeeze a first of next year. Oh, snap, that trade. Holy, did you guys see that? The first round pick is oh man, all right, I'll back off that. Clearly, they want that. Let's go for a second round next year. You think this? I think it'll work. I think it'll work, and they want to get rid of it. Stafford will help them. I could be a little bit. I don't want to get a third just because I don't want a third. I want a second. So let's see if this goes through. Oh man, it's too far off. All right, let's take the second off. Straight up, 1 for 1. 1 for 1. All right, so they were happy to accept this proposal. Wow, that's shocking. They didn't want to give up that second round pick. But okay, fair enough. They gave up and we got Gallagher, which keeps, at his age, he keeps intact our plan, our strategy, which is to build for the future, but he can also contribute now. So let's check. Let's check the edit lines really quickly. Or let's just view the lines, actually. He's at 83, perfect. His future is bright. And Leno, I believe it's pronounced. AJ, thanks AJ for correcting me on those things because I am not good with names. Leno is doing well. I could trade him, but you know what? I'll keep him, and his contract is 4 years left at 4.5. Oh, I did not see that. Well, you know what? For a left winger, we may be able to address this in the offseason, try and move him, because let's see what his trade value is, because I want to get back to simulating. I don't want to get too far lost in trying to revamp the team mid-season, because it is working, and Leno only has, yeah. All right, we'll work with Leno and Ehrhoff in the offseason. Let's get back to simulating. We made the trade. I think that will help our team and keeps intact our future. We can't make all the changes we want, but we made enough to, I think, suffice for this trading deadline. As of right now, we're on a 4-game losing streak, which is not looking good. And right now we sit, let's just see, we sit atop the Atlantic Division, Toronto, Montreal, right on our coats, and we just traded for Gallagher, so hopefully he comes in and helps us. Maybe, I hope that doesn't come back to bite us. Washington, New York, atop the Metropolitan Division. On the West, we have LA leading San Jose and Edmonton, and we want Edmonton the tank. We really do, because we have their first-round pick, and I looked at their lines. I'm not going to go into it, but I don't think they have... I don't see them holding this up. So, and then we're rooting for the Islanders. They have the first overall pick right now. We want them to continue to tank. So here we go. We're going to go up to the... oh, we have a quite a ways. So we'll go up... Man, how... I must be stupid. Yeah, so we have a long ways to go. And we'll go up to Ottawa. And actually, we'll end the month of January. That's where we'll end it. So... Carolina coming up at home. Buffalo Sabres looking to get back to their winning ways against Skinner and the boys. And we lose. So we're on a 5-game losing streak. And it's getting pretty bad. Come on. Florida, we can... Wow. 6 games. And so here comes the storm that we sort of were hitting last video. 6-game losing streak. We need, against Florida... We need to correct this against Washington on the road. So it's getting pretty bad. And suddenly not going balls deep was the good decision. Let's get out of the DEL. Defense is what I really want. And we don't have the man of the hour, the premier scouter. And so we're pretty much, you know, at WHL 6 weeks, we need defense. We scouted the center position enough to get that Reinhardt character. And so now we're on a 7-game losing streak. The standings right now, we dropped. Toronto caught up, and we're playing Toronto Wednesday. So this is going to be a big 2 games. Philadelphia, the Cavaliers winning them and scoring or leading them. And we lose again, 8 games. And we finally beat Toronto. So... we go from losing 8 games in a row to beating Toronto, which if we were going to pick a time to snap out of that, Toronto was definitely that time just to hold them at bay. But again, 8 games. Hopefully this streak of losing is snapped, because if we start trading wins and losses, we're going to end up middle of the road and we won't make the playoffs. Teams are on our backs now, and we're lucky enough that we built sort of a point lead where we can sort of go through this time period of roughness, but we can't hold on to it for long. And Taylor Hall's continuing to lead the team in scoring. We pick up, I believe, an 8-2 win. So, again, we got to build on wins. Florida at home, that should be manageable for us where we're at. We'll see. 5-2. Okay, correcting the storm. I like this so far. Carolina. All right, we lose against Carolina. But again, we need to come back against Columbus. We don't want to get stuck in these trading wins for losses. And Dubinsky leading them in penalty minutes. So come on, keep that lead up for penalty minutes. All right, we win 3-2. Oh, man. Taylor Hall's doing great. Hodgson's doing great. Lose against, that's understandable, losing against Pittsburgh. And we lose again against the Capitals. So, Phoenix... 3-2. So let's check the standings at the end of January. A little bit of mixed bag. You know, we sustained that tough 8-game losing streak, and we came out. Let's check where. All right, there, my boys up in New York. The Islanders still doing poorly. Let me check. 10 minutes. Okay, we got time. New York, the Islanders. Keep on, keep it on. Let's see where Edmonton. Wow. So they're actually doing well, man. Maybe Taylor Hall is holding them back, but let's check Gallagher, see what he's been doing ever since he came over to the Buffalo Sabres. And let's just see at the end of January who's really doing it and who's really not doing it. So for points, Ennis, Hall, Stewart, great. Hodgson, again, the assists, I really like that. But Ennis is doing a good job of bringing both scoring and assists. I mean, you look at Ennis compared to Hodgson, that could be something to look at. But Hodgson has, 10 less penalty minutes. I don't know what that counts for if you're keeping track. And but here's something to look at. Hodgson's a -1. NS plus 14. You gotta like that. Gallagher, can we see what he's done since he's come over? I don't think so. We'll look at the end. Yeah, we'll look at the end of the year. But he's a guy to watch. And then I like Myers doing well. Ehrhoff, enough. So we've seen it's really those first two lines are really getting it done, it seems like. It seems if the first two lines don't show up, then even Leno, he has a balanced attack. He's doing well. But it seems that the third and fourth lines really aren't really doing much for us. So let's check the team standings. I haven't really done this. We're actually 6th in the entire league. Man, oh man. Someone needs to hire me to be a GM. We're 2nd in the league in goals for. Great stat. Love that. And we're 16th. So we're middle of the road with defense, which is understandable when you have Neuwirth. And then we talked about already wanting to secure up our defensive core for the future. We're lacking that. So it's understandable. I don't have a huge problem with that. Power play. We're rocking the first in the NHL. Let's go. We're doing it. Montreal is right behind them. And it's interesting how we traded Gallagher for, we got Gallagher and we traded them Stafford. It's interesting after looking at the stats now. I didn't see that before that. They're actually really with us. I mean, they're almost identical to who we are, almost in a way. So the PK, middle of the road, PK could be a little bit better. And we're definitely a better team on home ice than away. So let's look at the PK lines because that can be better. I mean, that is something we can address right now today that doesn't need to be addressed in the offseason. So they have Hodgson and Ennis and Gallagher. That's interesting. Gallagher. Well, that's true. His defensive, I can live with that. Hall also playing the defensive role. Let's see if we can just find someone else for Hall. I don't want him having to carry the load. And, well, he's definitely not going to be it. Conacher. Defensive awareness 84. He might be the guy to... We also have Smith. Yeah, I'm going to put Smith on the PK. Just to give Hall a break. I don't want him playing his lights out. And I think that's good. We can live with that. But Hall should not be on the PK. Oh, 7 to minimal. I just think we have other choices out there that can step up. I know he has good defensive stats, but that doesn't mean he needs to be on the ice all the time for every situation. So February is a big month for us. Let's just look at the schedule for February. Get a little preview of the schedule. If I could find it, that is. Calendar. I'm such an idiot. All right, so going into the month of February, we can preview and see that, we have the Olympic break coming up naturally, but we have a little bit of a tough stretch. Colorado, Edmonton, Pittsburgh, Ottawa, and then we get back in Boston, San Jose. So there's really no time. And then even coming back, we have Dallas and then Tampa and Florida. And we've had trouble against Florida. That's not a guaranteed win. And then to finish out, I mean, we have a manageable schedule. This isn't too hard for us. So let's see, coming in February, we only have a few games because it's the Olympic break. Let's see how it works out for the Buffalo Sabres. And that's my fault. Oops. Man, I can't get my joystick management down so far. So Colorado coming up. Hopefully we can get back on or keep our winning ways. Landeskog leading goals right now, 17. And we pick up the loss. So Edmonton would be really nice. Taylor Hall, get some revenge. There we go. 6-0. Holy smokes. It's interesting how scoring sometimes really steps up for us, and then it really goes away. We lose 6-3. 3 goals is great. I mean, I'll take that. And then 3-1. But the scoring is what I want to watch because some games will come out gangbanging, 6 goals, going crazy. And then we just sort of revert back. And I don't know. I think that's because of youth. I was thinking about this team before I did this commentary. And one thing we have to understand, guys, is just because we came out guns blazing the first part of the season, this team is very youthful. And with youth, you're going to have times of great success, but also of great failure. These guys aren't 28. They're not in their prime right now. And so we have to be patient and sort of let them grow. That's the risk with bringing in young talent, is we have to be patient. So the offense, I think we're doing a great job of building for the future and bringing in those young prospects or young talent to sort of mold into for the future. So Boston, we've had some success. I remember in the last episode we were doing pretty well against Boston. They're not having the best of years, and we win 2-1. But again, 2 goals. I think for offense, we should be getting 3 goals a night. Yeah, I just kind of finish this and I'll be out. Sorry about that, guys. So, great 2 victories. My mom wanted me to finish watching a movie, but great two games right here against Buffalo. Not Buffalo, man. That so got me out of my commentating state. But Boston and San Jose. And let's check the standings for the month of February. And we see Edmonton sort of falling out now, but they still have they have a big enough lead where I don't think their season is in jeopardy, and I don't think they're gonna get we're gonna get their pick, and it's not gonna be like a top 5. So let's look at New York Islanders still maintaining that 45 points. That's what we want. That's what we need, and then us looking 4 points back of Toronto in the Atlantic Division. So real quickly, let's check the scouting report, because it is getting close to that time where scouting is going to take fold and who we can see who's going to be the top picks for us. And I didn't mean to go to scouting assignment, but scouting report. Let's look at who we have, because with the first overall pick, again, it's going to be great. And Ekblad, you guys may need to fill me in. Should we take him the first overall pick? I haven't done nearly any. I gotta scout this guy. What is he in the? Let's just take a look. He's in the OHL. Okay, so we need to take a look at him. Reinhardt, though, I've seen he has flown up in a value. I've seen him get up to a 92 overall, and if we land him, guys, we could then trade one of Gergenson's or one of those other center prospects and bring in a defensive prospect as well. So, I mean, I'll let you guys, you guys can give me your advice on these 2, but we definitely need the scout, Ekblad, because he could potentially come to Buffalo, and it's something to consider. So I think we can go past the trade deadline, just because I've already made my move for the trade deadline, and it's not as big, but it was just a marginal trade, because we got younger and we also got cheaper because we can re-sign them in the offseason. And look at this. Scouting assignment just pops up. So I believe Ekblad was in the OHL we talked about. Forwards, defense. He should pop up fairly soon if he's there. Callahan, Davis, Ekblad, there he is. All right. So we're going to go max 6 weeks. We got to see him. Got to see what he looks like. But again, we're just going to go over the trade deadline. I don't think we're going to do anything. I just don't see what we can offer without sacrificing what we built with that Taylor Hall trade. And I'll leave it. I mean, you guys give up a lot of suggestions, but we'll check to see if value. Taylor Hall, I mean, we don't have much, and the draft picks. Edmonton's going to be a good pick that can build depth for us, but we could trade that in our pick. I mean, Edmonton I may be willing to sacrifice, but Ehrhoff in that first round pick for Hedman, if that won't get it done, then I don't know what else, I don't know what else to do in terms of, I don't want to sacrifice. Actually, hold the phone. I just remembered. Nyquist, Conacher, Smith, Leno. All right, let's see. Let's just go to Detroit real quick and see. I'm almost half tempted, guys, to... You know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm almost tempted to give up a pick in Leno, but... Again, it's just why do that? Leno, I'm really thinking about it now, which really sucks. I didn't think I would think about it so much. Leno. You know what? No. We need him for defense this year. In the offseason, we can trade him because if I bring in too much youth, I think we would lose our position right now for the playoffs. And yeah. So we're just going to go past the trade deadline. Edmonton is on pace, but we need to watch out for Tampa Bay, and we have them up next, so we'll see. But we're going to go past the trade deadline. I know there's probably moves I could have made, but it's just how much are you willing to sacrifice type of thing. So Tampa, oh, see, we lose 2-1. Like, we only get 1 goal, and we lose 6-1. Again, it's that youth, that inexperience that we have on our team, and we're now tied with Tampa. But we have an 8-point lead over Detroit, so hopefully, all things considered, we'll go to the end of March. If we go to the end of March, we might as well go. All right, let's check the standings. Let's see how long this episode's going. 20 minutes. Okay. I think we made it past the trade deadline. We're sort of falling. We're still second in the league, which is crazy in goals. In goals against, we're probably, yeah. So the defense is hurting us, which we can address later, but I think we'll go... You know what? Let's go to the end of the season. And we'll see, yeah, let's just knock out the end of the season right now. And then we'll see if we make the playoffs, because I want to keep these videos. I move quickly through GMs. I don't play no games. And but let me know if you guys want to see like the other like stats. I don't know if you guys care about the other stats and stuff of like what other teams are doing. If you want me to show that, let me know. Again, I'm new to GM modes. I don't know all the things. So but the big thing we want to look for is the big thing we want to look for coming down the stretch is New York staying where they are, last place, so we can get that first overall pick, or at least be in top consideration for it. And picking up wins against Edmonton coming up, big game. Hull, that past history. And we win 3-1. And Yak, ironically, was doing less, 3 goals less than Taylor Hall. So in the offseason, we may make a move, but it just doesn't seem that way. And we're coming down to this critical stretch. And let's pause it right now and see where we're at in the standings. And let's take a league picture and see where we're at. So the team standings right now, Edmonton holding on. I think they have that playoff spot pretty much where they want it. St. Louis is actually having not a good year. I wouldn't foresee that. And then on the flip side, Buffalo holding on. Toronto's now jumped up. Tampa's jumped up. But New York still 10 points. Actually, now they're in a race with Vancouver for the worst team. So I didn't see that. And then let's look at goals. Ovechkin, Taylor Hall, Datsuk, Grabner, Carter, Taves, Malkin for goals. I wouldn't suspect Taves to be leading in goals or in the top 8. And then in assists, you have the usual suspects. Very nice. Brian Little, I wouldn't suspect that, but we'll go points. Ovechkin leading the way. Crosby's not even up there in points. Wow. But Michael Neuvir's leading the league in wins. That's crazy. And save percentage. No, Neuvir's not up there. That's shocking. And he's not up in goals against average. So it's pretty interesting how he's leading the league in victories, but well, it's probably because he's playing the most. But still, I mean, he's not in saves or anything like that. So we're gonna finish out the year. I know I probably do a lot in my videos. I cover a lot, and if you guys want me to slow it down, again, give me advice. You know, you guys in the blogosphere right away, comment away at what I can do to make this more entertaining for you guys and more enjoyable, because I like doing GMs. It's a one take. I don't need the edit compared to EASHL Revealed and even my Manhood series, which hopefully I'll have up also. I don't need to do a lot of editing with this, so let me know how I can improve it. But back to the GM, New Jersey Devils. I'm sorry I didn't turn off notifications. I will do that for the future. St. Louis coming up a little bit of a rocky year for them, and we pick up the 4-1 win. And then Detroit, they're in playoff contention, and we lose 6-1. So you see how the goal scoring sort of jumps. It ebbs and flows throughout the year. And down to the final stretch of the season, the big shabang, the big holy moly, and we're down 3. We lose 3-1 to Philly, and we lose 6-1 against Detroit. So after New York, we're going to stop the simulation, and we win 2-1. So that was pretty big, just because we're coming into our final 2 games, and we're going to check really quickly where we're at. New York is still in that last spot, so that's what we need. We're still, actually, Detroit now is coming up in the playoffs. They're coming right back for that final spot, so we need to be on the lookout. 2 games left, big games, and we sort of let it fall away from us. If you look back to the last episode, we sort of let it fall away. And then Edmonton, they have pretty much a playoff spot wrapped up. I mean, they're going to be a playoff team. So New York Islanders with 2 games left, we're going to see how they do, and we need to win these games. There ain't no games being played right here. So we're going to see Boston, important game. Louis Eriksson, the boys coming into town, and we win, which is very good news. And the Islanders, we should beat them. Don't give me a loss. Yes, so we win. We're going to go to the scout assignment and see what's up. Defense, we're going to stay in the OHL just because we got to get that Ekblad character, scout him out as best as we can, because him and Reinhardt are the 2 guys we're looking at. And let's just see very quickly. Yep. We're just going to scout these guys out. Give me some advice, guys. I've covered a lot, and we're just going to see if we made the playoffs. And we did. We made the playoffs, and I can't believe it. And 47 wins for the Buffalo Sabres. So we're going to stop it there. Let's see what happened. Let's see the tail of the tape. And we're going to wrap this video up. I know I went balls to the wall in this GM, and I didn't mean to. I don't know, I get carried away in it, but let's see where we are. So I can't see that stuff. So we'll go to standings, and I'll go over, all the stats, and we'll go from there. So we ended up 6th for the year, goals for per game, 2nd under Chicago, which is pretty interesting. Struggled with defense, goals against. We're going to address that in the offseason. Let's see how the power play fared. First in the league, and then the PK, did that get better? It was marginal. It was marginal. So, and the big thing was, home we were a lot better. Well, we pretty much, we were better home than we were away. And then the stats, we're just going to take a look at the season player stats very quickly, and we're going to end the video with any suggestions with scouting. I covered a lot. I didn't mean to just do the full second half, but I'm sorry about that, guys. Let me know if, I know 30 minutes is pretty crazy, and I didn't mean for it to do this, but I sort of just go, but anyways, 77 points Taylor Hall ends up with. Hodgson, 68. Ennis, again, the first 2 lines, and even Gallagher played pretty well. Again, Leno, he did all right. 20 goals scored, 29 assists, just under 50 points. I'll take that. Plus minus, he was a -10, but what are you going to do? So, Leno, he's a piece to move in the offseason, but let's go to the defense, And let's see who balled out for us. Ehrhoff actually played pretty well. Shockingly, I didn't think that. I didn't think he would do that well. I mean, the game says plus 11. That's pretty good. Myers, 50 points. McBain, 30. I'm going to need help with his name, 26. And so, it pretty much, even though we did best in offense and goals for it seems like defensively we may need to adjust some things in the offseason. But the big thing for us is standings, and Edmonton fell to 15th in the league, which is great news. And let's go up, because we need to see who was the worst team, and it was the Islanders. So, big news for Buffalo Sabre fans is we could have the first overall pick. So, I've talked way too much. This video has gone long overdue. Let me know what you guys think about everything. I'm sorry. Help me with these GMs. Help me, you know, do you like 30 minutes? Should I do 15? Give me something to help you guys, because you seem to like my GMs and I like doing them. So, hope you guys have a great day. See you for the playoffs against the Toronto